traders, Ryan Smith here with the Ultimate Closer, and we're ready for round 2 of our sales training. And I want to start off and start this real training program here, and I want to completely shock your system. So we're going to do a brief question and answer session, and the first thing we're going to start with is the automotive industry. And it really doesn't matter that some of the things that we're going to be talking about are specific to those, because the reality of it is we can take those fundamentals and apply them to real estate, insurance, door-to-door sales, roofing. Doesn't matter. The concepts are going to be the same. So let's start off, and by the end of this video, I am 100% going to show you how to take what in the automotive industry is a standard 16% first time to meet to the time that you close ratio from when a customer first walks into the door and you first meet them and say hi. You have a 16% chance of selling that customer. And I'm going to show you in this very brief video how to dramatically increase your closing percentage by 34%. Now I get it. Sounds a little bit out there. Hang with me. See if it makes sense. So, I'm going to first ask you whether the sales process, okay, is one of the two of these things. So the sales process, by your estimation, is one of two. It's either variable or an invariable process. So what do I mean by that? Let's think about it. So, is sales, no matter what type of sales you do, is it variable or invariable? Now, most of you are going to say variable. And I could easily agree with you and say, okay, here's the deal, right? I get it. You get a customer, they could come in, you could show up to the house, do whatever you want to do, and the reality is that customer could say and could do anything, right? Because if they can and could say anything, that would mean that the amount of responses that they could possibly have are infinite. Okay? If they're infinite, you have a variable sales process. If they are in fact finite, which means there's a specific number of things they could say, then deal. Then it has to be an invariable. So I'm going to ask you again before I show you, what do you think the sales process is? Variable or invariable? Now, if you have said variable, you are incorrect. If you have said invariable, then you are 100% correct. And the reality of it is if you get that concept right there, you are already far better in 4.5 minutes with me than you have been your entire sales career up to this point. Here's why. So let's break down the automotive process, okay? So just like any other sales, there's a steps to the sale. So our first step to the sale is what we call a meet and greet. This is the point in time where you're going to talk to the customer, you're going to shake hands, you're going to welcome them, thank them coming into your business. Your second phase is your needs assessment phase. This is where you're going to do a needs assessment, qualifying, fact-finding, whatever you want to call it, whatever your company calls it, whatever you call it. This is where I'm going to get information from the customer. I'm going to get a background, and I'm going to help start developing my sales game plan and learning how to avoid problems, which I'll teach you in a later seminar. The third phase is the selection portion. This is where you're going to go out and you're going to pick the right product for the customer, and you're going to bring it up to showcase the customer, which is step 4. Which is your presentation demo phase, where you're going to highlight the product, you're going to build value, you're going to do those things to get the customers emotionally and logically excited about the product, hopefully transitioning that forward into the close so you can capture the deal with a sense of urgency and retain and maximize the yield of your deal. Step 5 is a service walk where we're going to start introducing additional benefits that our dealership has to offer, because selling a car up front or selling anything, typically in most businesses, is one key component to what you're going to do for that customer for the duration of the cycle that you have them. Step 6 is an active trade appraisal. This is where I'm going to evaluate their vehicle, and I'm going to give them a number on there, hopefully the first number in which they agree to. Step 7 is everybody's favorite, and what you guys are logging in to learn about is the negotiations, okay? We're going to negotiate. We're going to ask them to buy. Now, since this is my sales process and my steps to the sale, just like yours, and I don't care what industry you work in, I want you to do this exercise. As soon as this video is over, please put it down, because if you watched my first video, I guaranteed to break you through plateaus and to help you reach sales levels you didn't think was possible. So you have to play along with me and do some homework. Sorry, I know I didn't outline that in the first video, but the reality of it is you got to put in work, okay? So when I look at this, I say, okay, when I do the meet and greet, okay, that means that if there's a meet and greet, there's thousands and thousands of things that the customer could say, and I'm going to sit back here and I'm just going to improv, and I'm going to have to overcome all these different scenarios to be able to move to the next step, right? Well, that's not the case. Here's every single objection you could possibly get when you greet a customer. I'm just looking. Okay? Hey, I'm on a time crunch. I only have 15 minutes. Right? Hey, my car's in service. Hey, give me your card. A standard objection you're going to get in any industry, because I don't care what you do. Business cards are a mark of a business professional. I'm not a huge believer in them unless I'm outside marketing doing those things to spread my name, because the reality of it is most of them make it 18 feet and go in the first trash receptacle they can find. But give me your card. So when I look at these, hey, I'm just looking, leave me alone, right? So nervous, standoffish, not as bold as give me your card. They might say, hey, leave me alone. Right? I have a car in service. I'm on some sort of time crunch, right? That's it. That is exactly all you can hear. And the reality of it is, you can come up with different versions of it, right? Okay? I'm just looking, right? You could say, well, I'm not buying today. Okay? So is not buying today another objection? Or one of the first things I'm going to teach you right now is how to transition objection to objection. Because not buying today is really the same thing as I'm just looking. They're saying, look, I'm here to see what you have available. If I require information, I'll be more than happy to come get you. And when I'm ready to buy, I will absolutely give you my money, right? But it's not right now. Because I'm nervous, I'm scared, I don't trust you, I don't like you, or maybe I'm really not buying today. Maybe I'm on day 1 of a 6-month search. Don't know, right? So this really isn't another objection. All it is I'm just looking. So I can say these 1,000 different ways, but the reality of it is, it's only a key core 4 or 5 that actually come out. So when I go to the needs assessment, I want the customer to come into the dealership. I want them to sit down. I want to gather the useful information, not only for the customer's benefit so I can help them, but I also want to know. Right here's the phase where I get to find out whatever problems I may have, and I want to start developing my sales game plan so that I can avoid problems in the future and take myself from beginner to mid-level and move from mid-level to the mastery phase. Because again, I will close 100% of the objections I don't get.